Hey guys and girls, welcome back to the third example video. We're shooting here live in the studio. It's going to be about some more input-output with variables and this time a new type of a input function. And we might do some output manipulation as well. Some simple stuff. I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks and tips. So let's get started. I copy pasted some stuff from the old ones, and remember to comment out your other main functions and leave the one you want to run uncommented. So we need the string library and we need the IOStream library for input output and the string variable type. So what we're going to do, just save that, save this. So what we're going to do is we're going to today make sure we can input a line. I don't know if you remember last time in the previous example here we had 3 integers with 3 numbers. This is supposed to be day, by the way, not date, so I'm sorry about that, but year, month and day. And here when we inputted them we use cin and we inputted them one after another, and the way the computer could tell that you were done typing in year was that you pressed either enter, or in the whole line that you were writing you basically made a space. So it was 999, let's say xxx space xxxx, because we wanted it in this format. You could have written a long number here as well, but the day of course is just 2 digits and goes up to 30 or 31, right? Or 29, 28. But anywho, let's see here. So basically these spaces would tell the computer that okay, he's done with year, he or she is done with year, and then month and then date, right? Or you could just do, while typing, you could do enter and enter, right? So you would have this, this, and this, and the computer would know with a new line that you switched to inputting into another variable. So basically what we're going to do today is we want those white spaces because we couldn't have them in there. If we want to input into a name and you make white space, it's going to stop. It's going to stop taking an input at that white space. So let me just show you what that is. So let's say string name, and you want to initialize your initializing basically just means that you give it a start value, which I should have said the last example, but anywho, here we go. And you have the name, and then say that you want to type in that name like that. Now let's start this program. So what's gonna happen? Oh, excuse me, my bad. Of course we want to get it out as well. So we just output the name after we've inputted it. So let's start. Sorry about that. Let's say John Mac. And just John. Why did we just get John? Well, because the cin actually stops inputting after the space, the white space, or a new line character. So basically you press enter in between, and that's the new line character, and space is the white space character. Well, there we go. So how do we fix this? What do we do? And there is a way to do this. There is a function called getline, which is also part of the std namespace, and then we want to do cin and name. So we can use this for file input and output later as well. But basically here's where you tell the computer what you want it to do. So you want it to input from the keyboard. We use cin for that. So cin is input from the keyboard, cout is input to or output to the screen. So now we have a line that we're gonna get. Now we can do whatever we want. We can say we can make spaces, multiple spaces, whatever, and it takes all those spaces with it. And it continues until you give it a new line character, and that is the enter. So there we go. We have that explained. So now when we know what that is, we want to get a name for our person. We want to what else do we want? Say that this person is a student we're registering. So he has a point, he or she has a number of points, and we initialize that as well. And a name and some points. And we want to output this in a nice way. So we want the name to be first name, last name, and then the points at the bottom. So we could do this in a very easy way. After we get the name, we can get the points. So then we use like this for the points. Of course, we want to tell a user what they want to input, right? So when we start the program, there should be some kind of tell to what is going on. So please, bro, input the name of student. Okay, and we don't end the line, remember, because we want it to input directly after. That's why we have this little space here, right? So we have a little space and then the input starts. Then we have, copy paste this real quick. Please, bro, input the points of the student, whatever. And then we'll get the points in. Now, say that we have an address. Is that how you spell address? I'll just assume that's an address. Anyway, we want to get line again, right? Because the address can have some spaces. And now you have to listen carefully because there's something really important going on here. After you use the cin, there is a thing that happens. There is a problem between cin and getline. Cin keeps the new line character in the stream after a while. Think of it as a big long pipe where you put in stuff, these characters that you're typing from the keyboard, right? And when you press enter, this variable is going to get whatever you're writing in, where you're typing in here. But the new line character that you use to end that stream or end that input is going to stay in the stream. So it's going to stay there and wait. And when you do get line after that, the first character is going to come in as the new line character that was still in there. And what's that going to do? It's going to end your input directly without you knowing, and you're going to be frustrated. You're going to know what the hell's going on, right? So if we do get line, I'll show you the problem. Okay, there we go. Put the, okay, so there we go. And what we're going to do here is we're going to just straight up output everything. So we'll say name. This is a good way to output things. You do this, and then you break it up. You break the stream up into pieces, right? You can't do this, name, and then you write name here, and then you keep going. You can't do that. You have to, between things, you have to break it up. And then we got the points. Want space there as well. C++ doesn't care about your spaces and stuff. I mean, it doesn't care about making it look good, so you have to take care of that yourself. Then we do the points. And then we do the address. Whoops. Okay. There we go. Okay. And we end the line. So there we go. Let's start this, see what's going on. So let's say lol. Okay, that's a cool student. He has 23 points. And, oh, whoops, what happened? The program stopped. The address is blah, blah, blah. And then that stuff came directly after. That's because our new line character was still in there. See, so how do we do that? I want to do get line after saying, what? Can I do that ever? Well, yes, you can. There's good news. So what you do is, that little character that's there, you do cin.ignore. So it ignores that next character. Okay? And every time you can check what functions you have for all these things by pressing the point. Maybe you find something else you need. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, the ignore. So it was after points. Okay, we know it's after points because that's the cin, and we want the get line after without any problem. So, okay, 23 points. Oh, well, it asked me for the address. Well, lol street El Mao. And then the dude or girl is from lol street El Mao with 23 points with the name of LOL. And that works. Great. Now there is a tip I will give you really quickly, is that if you don't want to write end line here, okay, you want to just straight up, within something, end the line, break. You can use a thing here. You can do a /n. And what that does is it's going to give you, now this isn't really nice here, but because the name and then the name comes there, but it breaks the line for you in there, in midstream, see? So you don't have to do endl. And you can do that in here as well. You just do that. I'll do the same thing. It recognizes that. Always sad. See, it recognizes that. Sad has 2 points and he lives at SD. Well, thank you for watching. This was the third example, and just some simple variables and stuff, and some input, output, and with some getline. So thanks. I'll see you in the next video.